I'm Alan Cylinder.
And I'm his daughter, Chelsea Cylinder.
We're Cylinder. And today we're here to talk about Maestro. This is Bradley Cooper's new film about the life of Leonard Bernstein. It's written and directed by him, and it stars Bradley Cooper as well as Leonard Bernstein. It also stars, in a scene-stealing role, Carey Mulligan as his wife Felicia.
Yes. In case you are unfamiliar with Leonard Bernstein, he is a classic composer. He's really well known for composing great Broadway musicals like West Side Story, On the Town, Candide, Wonderful Town, but he also is a composer of many symphony pieces as well.
Yes, he was director of New York Philharmonic for years, and this film chronicles his relationship, which at times was strained but always loving, with his wife.
Yes, Leonard Bernstein was bisexual, and so he was really torn in his love affairs, but he really loved his wife. And the movie focuses a lot on their very complicated but loving relationship.
This film is not the movie I expected. I actually like the film, but there's a lot of nitpicking I can do to make it seem like I liked it less. One of the things I don't understand, he plays with ratios in this film, and most of the film is in a 1:3:3 ratio. I have no idea why, because the first part of the movie is in black and white, and when it turns to color, you'd think that's when he's going to bring it into a bigger ratio. Instead, he doesn't bring it into a full 1:8:5 ratio, the normal widescreen ratio, until almost the end of the movie. So I just don't understand it, and I thought it was not a great choice. But an even more grating choice is the fact that they gloss over all the Broadway stuff that he did.
Gloss over is a strong word.
Yes. There's nary a mention of West Side Story.
There's one.
Yes,
one
there
mention
is a
of
mention.
West Side Story.
Yes.
One mention. This was my biggest problem with this movie, is that Leonard Bernstein is most famous for his Broadway musicals, West Side Story, which is one of the most famous musicals ever created, and there's one line of dialogue, one passing mention of its existence.
And one brief piece of music from it.
Yes. Which is just like part of the score. It's not identified as West Side Story.
So my main complaint about the movie is that it feels like an incomplete movie. The second half of the movie is fine, I thought. But the first half, although I don't like some of the choices he made in the first half, he has this surreal sequence which introduces On the Town, and it kind of makes no sense with what he does. But then it feels like there's a section of the movie missing, and then it picks up later. And from that point on, it doesn't feel like anything is missing. It feels great. Now, in this day and age, the movies run over 3 hours. This movie is 2 hours and 9 minutes. This certainly could have been a 2.5-hour movie.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. This was not the movie I was expecting. It's also not the movie that I wanted, because I feel that in order to have a complete Leonard Bernstein biopic, we really have to have a big section focusing on his greatest works. I thought that the stuff with his relationship with his wife is really well done. This in general is a very well-made movie. Bradley Cooper's got talent as a director, and also I thought he was great. And Carey Mulligan was amazing as well.
Carey Mulligan is always amazing.
Yes.
I'll go on record as saying that it's impossible,
Yeah.
it seems, for Carey Mulligan not to be amazing.
Yes, I agree. She's a great actress. So there's really not that much at fault with the movie making and with the acting. But I can't believe that they just didn't mention this.
Well, they do mention it.
They mention it, but if you don't actually know who Leonard Bernstein is, you're not going to walk away from this movie actually knowing who he is.
That is absolutely true.
This movie, in my opinion, actually could be just a character study of a very tortured man.
It could be fictitious.
It could be fictitious.
It's not, but actually it's interesting you say that, because last year Kate Blanchett
Tar.
was in Tar,
I thought
which
of
was
that.
a really good movie. And many people thought that she was playing a real-life character, but she wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. I thought of Tar, actually, while I was watching this movie.
Yes, this film has a lot of pretentious stuff in it, too. But I think it's mainly because these characters pretty much led pretentious lives.
Well, yeah, that actually did not bother
Yeah.
me at all. That didn't bother me. The stuff with the ratio didn't really bother me.
I just didn't understand it. It didn't necessarily bother me. I just don't get why,
I get No, I get it. Yeah. To its credit, there are some really intense scenes. One of the most effective parts of Bradley Cooper's direction is that he really creates the sensation that you're eavesdropping on the characters.
Absolutely.
I thought that the movie really drives home the point of how much Leonard Bernstein loved his wife. And I think that was a main thing that they wanted to tell in this movie, and they really succeeded with that.
I thought they succeeded with how tortured he was in
agree.
terms of composing as well.
Yeah.
And there's some really strong stuff in the last part of the movie.
The last part of the movie is really good.
This is a movie that I shouldn't be mixed on. This is a movie that should unquestionably be great, because it certainly has the potential and the material. Still, there's something hypnotic about this film that makes me not able to stop thinking about it. So anyway, not the movie I wanted to see, but still definitely a worthwhile movie.
Agreed.
This film was made by Netflix, and it's currently in theaters, and it will soon stream on Netflix. And I would give this movie 3.5 cylinders.
I would also give this movie 3.5 cylinders.
Maestro! This is Alan Cylinder
And Chelsea Cylinder.
saying, see you at the movies.
Bye.